Biomed Nexus Daily Updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR Sarepta Therapeutics, SRPT, surged 35% after reporting the first clinical data from its siRNA platform. Licensed from Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals, SRP-1001 achieved 90 to 93% knockdown of disease-driving genes in FSHD with no dose-limiting toxicities. Jefferies projects 1B plus peak sales for each of the two programs. Maze Therapeutics, Maze, dropped over 30% on Wednesday, despite the positive APOL1 kidney data we reported yesterday. Analysts flagged the small sample size, ND15, and questioned whether efficacy extends robustly beyond the severe FSGS subgroup. This is an important market correction to yesterday's scientific read. Rocket Pharma's Kresladi PDUFA for Lady Eye gene therapy lands tomorrow. Executive takeaway: 2 dramatically different market reactions told the full story on Wednesday. Sarepta Therapeutics delivered the most significant siRNA clinical data in the neuromuscular space to date, sending the stock up 35% in a single session. The data from 2 Arrowhead licensed programs showed that the targeted delivery platform can penetrate muscle tissue with unprecedented efficiency, achieving over 90% knockdown of disease-driving genes in FSHD. For a company that spent years trying to prove its gene therapy platform, this pivot to RNA interference just validated an entire strategic reset. Meanwhile, Maze Therapeutics experienced the exact opposite. A 30% plus stock collapse on the same APOL1 kidney data we covered positively yesterday. The clinical numbers didn't change. MZE8229 still showed a 61.8% UACR reduction in the FSGS subgroup, but Wall Street's interpretation did. With only 15 patients in the trial, analysts questioned whether the efficacy signal in the broad AMKD population is robust enough to support a pivotal program. The ultimate takeaway in small-cap biotech, being right on the science and being right on the stock are two entirely different things. Read full analysis, what to watch. Rocket Pharma, tomorrow, March 28. Kresladi PDUFA for LAD-I gene therapy. This is the company's second FDA attempt after a 2024 rejection on manufacturing issues. Approval would include a priority review voucher worth 100 nanometer plus, which is critical to extending Rocket's cash runway. ACC 26, March 28 to 30. American College of Cardiology in New Orleans starts tomorrow. Watch for cardiovascular outcomes, data, and GLP-1 cardiometabolic crossover presentations. Sarepta registrational path. Management is expected to meet with the FDA in late Q2 2026 to discuss an accelerated approval pathway for SRP-1001 based on the biomarker data. Registrational trials could start by year-end 2026. Orforglipron, April 10th. Lilly's oral GLP-1 target action date is 2 weeks away. Today's top story, Sarepta's Arrowhead bet, just paid off. What happened? Sarepta Therapeutics, SRPT, reported the first clinical results from its next-generation siRNA platform, and the data landed with massive force. The stock surged approximately 35% in a single session, marking the company's largest one-day gain in nearly a decade. The data, Sarepta presented Phase 1-2 results from 2 programs built on a proprietary targeted delivery system licensed from Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals, ARWR, in a landmark deal worth $825 million upfront, $500 million cash, plus $325 million equity premium, with up to $10 billion in total milestones, which closed in February 2025. SRP-1001 FSHD. A single dose achieved 90 to 93% reduction in the expression of DUX4-regulated genes, the primary drivers of muscle wasting in facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy. Serum creatine kinase levels, a key marker of muscle damage, dropped rapidly. Dosing interval once every 3 months. SRP-1003 DM1. In myotonic dystrophy type 1, Sarepta reported a single injection at the lowest dose significantly outperforms repeated administrations of competing antisense and siRNA therapies from Dyne Therapeutics and Avidity Biosciences, though no head-to-head clinical studies exist. The safety. No dose-limiting toxicities were observed in either program. Importantly, no kidney or magnesium issues that plagued earlier siRNA candidates were reported. Executive impact. This is a massive pivot story. Sarepta spent years trying to build a gene therapy franchise beyond Duchenne muscular dystrophy with highly mixed results. The Arrowhead deal gave Sarepta access to the TRiM delivery platform, enabling siRNA to penetrate muscle tissue far more efficiently than older technologies. Jefferies called the results competitive and strong, projecting over $1 billion in peak sales for each program. Sarepta is officially no longer a one-disease company. Clinical and research updates. Correction. Maze's data was good. The market didn't care. What happened? In yesterday's email, we covered Maze Therapeutics. Maze, positive Phase 2 Horizon data for MZE829 in a POL1-mediated kidney disease. The stock was initially up 9% in pre-market, but by the close, Maze had dropped over 30%. What changed? The clinical data itself didn't change. The market's assessment of the data's scalability did. Truist noted that with efficacy appearing most robust in a small, severe FSGS subset, there are questions around the breadth of therapeutic impact across broader AMKD. Mizuho acknowledged the drug looks better than Vertex's inaxaplin in cross-trial comparisons, 62% versus 43% UACR reduction, but noted Wall Street is getting hung up with the numbers in the broad population. The core issue, only 15 patients were enrolled. The FSGS subgroup had just 5 patients. While the data is genuinely encouraging from a scientific standpoint, the sample size makes it impossible for institutional investors to size a position with confidence. Our take: the data is still the first clinical proof of concept in a genetically defined kidney disease population, and the FSGS signal beats the closest competitor. But the market reaction is a brutal reminder that proof of concept in 15 patients is a long way from a registrational program. Oncology and rare disease rocket. Pharma, Kresladi, PDUFA is tomorrow. The setup: Rocket Pharmaceuticals, RCKT, faces a March 28 PDUFA for Kresladi, a lentiviral gene therapy for leukocyte adhesion deficiency type I, LADI. The FDA rejected Kresladi in 2024 with concerns centered entirely on manufacturing and characterization rather than clinical efficacy. The binary: an approval grants Rocket a priority review voucher, recently valued at $100 and the first approved treatment for a devastating pediatric immune disorder. A second CRL would significantly damage investor confidence in the platform's manufacturing viability. This is as binary as it gets in gene therapy. Read Full Analysis Biomed Nexus Pro Institutional Intelligence. Brief in today's Pro Brief, Sarepta's platform. Revaluation. What the Arrowhead data means for the entire muscle-targeted siRNA competitive landscape and why the licensing deal now looks like a bargain. The Maze stock disconnect, how to navigate good data, bad stock situations in small-cap biotech. Rocket, PDUFA, final framing. The PRV value, the manufacturing risk, and why a second CRL would be devastating. Upgrade to Pro today. Read full article. Selective 2026 sponsorship placements are available. Reply directly to discuss a partnership or submit an inquiry here.